Hare Krishna. Remission is not elimination. Suppose a person is diagnosed with cancer and then that person takes vigorous treatment and then the symptoms of the cancer start disappearing and the cancer goes into remission. Now, because the visible symptoms and the discomfort they have gone, one may feel as the patient may feel as if I have recovered. Yes, there is recovery, but that's not cure. The cancer has not been eliminated. Still, doctor will warn that even now the patient has to be cautious, persist with the treatment, and be on the alert to take note and rectify and take treatment as soon as any symptoms start resurfacing. So, uh, if the patient neglects this and there is a relapse, recurrence, then there can be serious consequences of that neglect. Similarly, in our spiritual life, when we start gaining spiritual wisdom, when we understand our spiritual identity, we recognize that we are at our core souls and we are meant for a life of eternal happiness with Krishna. And selfish desires, just lust, anger, greed, comprise a serious disease, a disease that traps our consciousness in matter and sentences us to the many miseries of material existence. So we need to become liberated from this bondage. So when we understand that selfish desires are like a disease, then at that time they are like a cancer. We need to curb them and we start practicing spiritual life. We start practicing some principles of discipline, and by that we learn to we gain certain level of sensual restraint, and this may give us the notion that now I have conquered selfish desire. However, this would be dangerous because selfish desires are still there lurking in our consciousness even if they are not surfacing right now. The sensual restraint is just the first step in the in spiritual recovery, because the lust that is dangerous is actually the enemy, is a destroyer of knowledge. In the 3.41 in the Bhagavad-gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, tasmat tum indriyanyadav niyamya bharatarshabha papamanam prajahiya enam jnana vijnana nashanam. Tasmat tum indriyanyadav. Therefore, in the beginning, with the senses you bring under control. Niyamya bharatarshabha, discipline them. Papamanam prajahi enam, because it's sinful, and jnana vijnana nashanam, this can actually is this a destroyer of knowledge and the urge for acquiring knowledge, jnana and vijnana. And this sensual restraint is the first step in the Gita program. The second program is spiritual reinstatement. We need to situate ourselves on the spiritual platform, as the Gita says 2 verses later in 3.43. एवं बुद्धे परम बुद्ध्वा संस्थभ्यात्मानमात्मना जहि शत्रुं महाबाहो कामरूपं दुरासदम्. So, evam buddhe param buddhva, with your intelligence, knowing yourself to be transcendental, samsthabhya atmanam atmana, situate yourself on the spiritual platform, and jahi shatrum mahabaho, in this way conquer over this formidable enemy. O great warrior, O Arjuna, Kamarupam Durasadam, that enemy which is very formidable, Kama. So essentially, the solution is, if you want, just as we need to eliminate cancer, not just be satisfied with its remission. So like that, we need to eliminate selfish desire, and for that we need to situate ourselves on the spiritual platform, and that requires us to become focused on Krishna, become absorbed in Krishna, to develop a love for Krishna. And when we have love for Krishna, at that time we move forwards and become purified, we become liberated. So what we need is that purification and liberation by the practice of bhakti. So therefore, the most important thing we need to do is situate ourselves on the spiritual platform, and if we can just stay fixed in the service of Krishna, then gradually selfish desire will move into remission, and from remission it will also go into elimination, and we will attain liberation. Thank you. Hare Krishna.